So, welcome to the class, and in this, we are going to do objectives of the government budget. Basically, why? What is the objective? First objective is, say, allocation of resources. It has to make a fair balance between the social welfare as well as profit maximization, because it's a mixed economy. It has to be fair. It has to be fair enough to do that. Then the second is to bring about economic stability. So, in times of inflation or deflation, to bring about stability in the economy. And the third important objective is to do away with inequality, the rich and the poor, to see that there is as much as they can, as much as possible, to bring about equality. And of course, there are two others, which is the economic growth and development, and also to manage the public undertakings, PSUs. Okay, so this is what it is. So we'll go through this. So let's just take the first one, which is known as through the budgetary policy, the government tries to reallocate resources so that a balance between the goals of profit maximization and social welfare is maintained. So, and the government has to allocate resources into areas where private sector is not willing to go. Because, see, it doesn't like to take up development of roads, parks, rural electrification, education, health, etc. due to low profitability and huge investment. So this should be provided by the government. Then second is, and again, production of harmful consumption goods like liquor, cigarettes, etc. can be discouraged through heavy taxation, and production of socially useful goods like khaki products can be encouraged through subsidies. Then you have, we talked about economic stability. So economic stability means absence of fluctuations in prices. Government budget is used to save the economy from the situation of inflation or deflation. So for example, to control inflation, government imposes heavy taxes to discourage private consumption and brings cuts in its expenditure. And second is to check the situation of deflation. Government reduces tax rates to encourage private consumption and increases its expenditure. Then we have what is known as redistribution of income and wealth. There exists income inequalities in every economy. So inequality of income and wealth are socially undesirable. So because in this there is a section of society which is denied even the basic necessities of life. So this needs to be reduced. So government aims to reduce such inequalities of income and wealth through the budgetary policy. So this is redistribution function of the budget. The government affects the personal disposable income of households by making transfer payments, that is subsidies, unemployment allowance, old age pensions, etc., and collecting taxes, and therefore can change the income distribution. Also, to reduce inequalities of income, progressive taxation can be used, in which higher the income level or slab, higher is the tax rate. So people with low income are provided subsidies and facilities. Another way is inequalities of income can be reduced through public expenditure on welfare schemes like free education, free medical facilities, etc. to the poor. And of course, with respect to excise duties, necessities of life are exempted or taxed at low rates. Comforts and semi-luxuries are moderately taxed, and luxuries, tobacco and petroleum products are taxed heavily. So then we have management of public enterprises. So we in India have a lot of these public sector undertakings where the government undertakes activities that are of nature of natural monopolies through its public enterprises for social welfare. So what is a natural monopoly? It is a situation where a single firm can produce at a lower average cost than other competing firms. So industries which are potential natural monopolies are, say, railways and electricities. These usually come under the state regulation, because if left unregulated, there will be a tendency of the monopolist to charge high price by reducing output, thereby lowering social welfare. So the government tries to raise the growth rate by establishing public enterprises in these areas. So, necessary funds for public enterprises are provided through these annual budgets. And then we have promotion of economic development. Most of the countries, particularly underdeveloped countries, have chosen the path of planned economic development. They've taken up the task of economic development through the 5 year plans and on Niti Aayog. To achieve the planned targets, resources have to be found, have to be discovered, where to get it from. So the annual government budgets provide necessary funds for this purpose. So they drop schemes of revenue mobilization on one hand and programs of public expenditure for development schemes on the other. So in short, it is a very important, powerful tool in the hands of government through which it can affect the generation, distribution, and spending of national income. So, you know what? You can get questions as what is a government budget, explain, show taxes and subsidies, how taxes and subsidies can be used to influence allocation of resources. Or you can get a question as to explain the role of the government budget to fight the inflationary and deflationary situation in a country. Or can the budget be helpful? Or another question could be, can the budget be helpful in solving the problem of inequality of income, etc.? So you can get questions like this. You can just have a look at this. So, each objective they can talk about, and it can be of 3 marks. So, each objective should be studied uh, on its own. So, individually, you must study that. So these are the questions that you must see, you must solve.